gamers, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today's video is actually supposed to be in Sulani. It was supposed to be a beach house, but it's been a long day of building and this is what I ended up with. This is nothing like what I was actually going to build today. I was going to build this kind of round house in, like I said, it was going to be a beach house. It was going to be in Sulani and I don't know how to describe it. I'm going to try to still figure out how to build it, but I didn't have any luck with it today. I ended up having to delete it. So I decided to build this crystal house instead. But this house actually was also originally going to be a beach house. So this is the second time I think that I have tried to build this. This was my second attempt at trying to build this particular house. And as usual, the inspiration for this build came from Pinterest. So I'm going to go on and put the picture that inspired this build up on the screen where you guys can see it and kind of see what I was going for. But I will tell you that it did definitely not end up anything like the inspiration photo whatsoever. That's what I was going for when I still had it in Sulani. I wanted it to be like a little beach house, a crystal beach house, and I thought it was going to be so cool. But it did not look good, and also it was not functional, and I really don't know why that was surprising to me. I should have known that it wasn't going to be functional, but I decided to give it one more go because I really wanted to get a video done today. So I scrapped out that build. That was the second build that I bulldozed. And I moved it to Windenburg because I thought that maybe it would look better as a snowy, wintry house and a lot smaller than I originally built. So yeah, we're in Windenburg and we're on a 20 by 20 lot. And so the main thing about this house, as you can see, I'm surrounding this little circular room with crystals. Or I think it's actually diamonds. I think that's the crystal that I'm using is the diamonds from the debug menu, I think. Anyway, I'm surrounding the house with these crystals, but the most important thing that I'm doing that I did not do when I attempted this build earlier today was that I went on and built a basement first, and I'm actually placing most of these crystals are actually being placed in the basement level, and then I'm using the tool mod to bring them back up to the ground area, but still technically they're on the basement level. So as you guys will notice, when I click down into the basement, you can still see all these crystals, and that is the key part of what makes this house functional. And I completely forgot to do it earlier. And I also was on a waterfront lot. I wanted to build this on, I think it's like the island lot. It's like pretty much an island in Sulani. And that's where I wanted to build it, and you can't actually use a basement on those lots. And so, yeah, this is what we ended up with, a little winter house. But that is very important if you guys are ever trying to make something like this. You do have to place like stuff like this that would mess with the functionality. You have to place it in the basement or on the second floor. Some of the crystals are placed on the second floor, just the ones that are high enough up that they wouldn't cause any issues with functionality. But that's it. That's the shell of this build. It's a very, very simple, and I liked it okay. The last few builds I've done I haven't liked, and this one, I don't know. It's a little bit of a quirky build, but I hope you guys like it. The shell of the house inside is just a round room like I mentioned, and this was actually my first day of building with the round rooms. So the first build that I was trying to do today, that's what I was using, and that was just an absolute disaster. So I didn't realize how difficult it was to work with the round rooms. I think it's still really cool that we have that option, and I'm probably just trying to use it in like weird ways, and that's the problem. I don't know, have you guys ever had any issues using the round rooms? Any of you guys that have built with them? I had a lot of trouble with them. I did not have much fun with that first build, and I really was excited about building it, but it did not turn out well. But I've noticed that they're really glitchy, and you have to have everything placed just right if you're going to use them. So this isn't a perfectly round little room. I had to add an extra tile so that the door of this house could be centered, which I don't really like very much. But like I said, it's still a cool option, and I'm just using it in weird ways, and I know that. But yeah, it was an adjustment to get used to them. And I don't know how much I'm going to use them in the future because I don't know. It was a learning curve for sure. Let me know if you guys have any experiences building with them, how you like the round walls. I know I'm way, way behind on this because this happened like probably months ago, but I hadn't been building, and so this was the first time that I built with them, and I was a little disappointed. But I did think that the like wall decor and like pictures and stuff did really well with it, like better than I thought it was gonna do, if that makes sense. Like, everything snapped really well to them, considering that it's still pretty new and everything. So, yeah, it's been a long day of building. But this is the interior of this house. It's very small, and so we're going to have one bathroom, we're going to have one bedroom, and I did manage to get a kitchen and a little small living area in this house. But it's got a double bed, so it's really only big enough for 1 or 2 Sims. But I felt like the bathroom ended up being pretty big. It's pretty spacious. But it was really just that big because I felt like I had to do that to get the walls placed in the right area. So it kind of turned out to be a big bathroom. But I do like the way it turned out. The kitchen was a little trickier because I was pretty much left with this round section and I had no idea how to do this. So it takes me a minute to kind of figure it out. I'm going to change things several times because, yeah, I didn't have a clue what to do with the kitchen. But I think it turns out okay, and it is functional. I did play test it. I was kind of surprised that everything worked, but it did seem to work out, so that's good. But yeah, this house, it doesn't have a whole lot of decorations on the inside because I guess the main point of this build was the exterior. But I tried to dress it up a little bit, so we have a few like minimalistic decorations and everything. I tried to make it look kind of cozy, but it is very wintry. This is a very wintry build. I wanted it to be in the snow. Once I realized that the beach house wasn't going to work out, I wanted it to be surrounded in snow so that it would look a little bit less weird, because that's one of the things that the first time that I built this in Sulani, it just looked so kind of out of place. And I feel like there's not much landscaping that you can do around a house like this. Or at least I couldn't come up with anything, especially on the beach, because everything was green and I wanted it to be like bluish, or I think at that point I wasn't using a diamond. I think I was using some kind of blue crystal, but I wanted it to match and nothing really matched and it just didn't look good. So I feel like the snow helps with that. It kind of hides everything around it. You don't really see all the green. It makes everything white and it kind of fits in. I don't feel like this build would fit into any other season but winter when it's snowing. But for the landscaping on this build, I just placed some of the like evergreen trees. I think that's what they were. That came with the Windenburg pack or the Get Together pack, sorry. And I placed those trees around and I tried to make them really big to kind of frame this build because it doesn't fit in with the rest of the world for sure. And so I tried to cover that up, kind of making those trees really big around it. And then I used one of the debug plants from Get Together, which is just like this little grassy kind of triangle thing. I think it comes with several of the different packs. You'll see it in the debug menu with several different packs. There may even be like a base game version of it. But it looked really nice in the snow, so I surrounded the build with that, kind of trying to, you know, give it a little bit of a different look than just snow. And then also at the entrance of this build, so in front of the front door, I used 2 base game mirrors and I like rotated them with the tool mod to where they're like facing up to the sky. And I thought that was really cool because it kind of adds to that like icy look. And originally when I was building this, I was really trying to use a lot more mirrors, but I couldn't figure out a way to do that, and it looked good also. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this build. It's a really quick build, but I had to do something small because I had already bulldozed 2 builds today, so I needed just to get something done. But yeah, that's it for this build, and hopefully I will talk to you guys soon with another speed build and another video. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all are having an amazing day.